Hey Virgo, welcome to October 2020. I started your reading, but I was exhausted, so I was like, I'll just hold on to the cards and we'll come back to them. And here I am. So I have your cards here. I have the Two of Cups, Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Six of Wands in reverse, Five of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, Hanged Woman upright, Six of Swords, Two of Wands in reverse, the Star, and the Princess of Wands. So it's a really interesting collection of energies, and I'm kind of tempted to say overall things are good. But I think things being good, in fact, is kind of, in a way, creating this ebb and flow. It really feels like a huge ebb and flow between, and like most of the year has been this, but October maybe feels like the culmination of this ebb and flow between one chapter and the next. So with the Two of Cups, romance, connection, partnership, etc., and like abundance and financial success, right? Like, in fact, I would say I feel like a lot of this has to do with a sense of kind of like losing independence, because I think you're moving towards a more interconnected dynamic. I'm not saying you're moving towards anything like codependent or unhealthy, but I think you are maybe making stronger commitments, because we also got this Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So I'll just talk about these two together for a second. So this card, they're both cards of abundance and of like stability. But this one to me, Nine of Pentacles, is more like single girl out on the town, like Destiny's Child, independent woman. As in, Nine of Pentacles is more like, I'm abundant within myself and I can stand on my own. And I have my own kind of like individual success, however you define success, right? And Ten of Pentacles is still that abundance, but I feel like it's abundance more in connection to our community. So I think with the Ten of Pentacles, it's more about how, like, when everyone's thriving, I'm doing really well too. When we're all working together as a team, we're doing even better. And so that's what so we got this Two of Cups, which is partnership and love. And that can be, friend love too. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Could be. But it's like definitely like, as I'm connecting more with the people in my life, maybe I'm kind of having to look at where I'm most abundant in connection with others, right? When I'm working with others, when I'm sharing my gifts and talents, when I'm harmonizing with those around me, as opposed to just looking out for number one, or just like, so, I mean, this is not per se what's happening for all Virgos, but it might be like you used to be running your own independent business and you were like, you were self-employed and you worked for yourself and that was it. And now, kind of like through love and harmony and deeper connections, you're kind of like joining forces with others. So that, and again, this is just a general reading, so I'm not saying all Virgos are getting into business with their friends or their lovers or whatever, but it just does feel like kind of you are having to kind of change and lean on others, or kind of like realize, it's like kind of like, okay, we got Six of Swords. Again, this is kind of the reverse Styx to me, which has been coming up a lot for me, and I'm still processing that, but it's definitely a card of mentally moving on from one thing to the next. Eight of Cups is more moving on an emotional front, and the Six of Cups is kind of more like things have not been working, i.e. right here, this Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Things have not been working the way I've been doing things, so I have to move on to a new strategy. Because we also got, like, some of this stuff, too, right? We got the Six of Wands in reverse and the Five of Swords. Both cards of conflict. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's kind of your reading. I think I got the gist. We'll go through it again. But it's like, I think where you're at, Virgo, is like, for so long, you've been like just kind of doing things on your own, right? Like, you've been, again, single independent woman. But I think things are changing so drastically in your life. There's so much external change, obviously, with the 2020 pandemic and social injustice and looming fascism, right? There's just a lot. And I think you are kind of recognizing, Virgo, like, as much as I like to only answer to myself or only have to feel accountable for myself or make sure that I'm not, like, burdening others with my, with my need. Like, it's like you've wanted to just be independent for so long. But I think that something about that is feeling unsustainable. There's, like, conflict in your life, and there's just, even if you are victorious or even if you are successful, I think it just doesn't feel either sustainable, tenable. It doesn't feel maybe rewarding, at least in the same ways it did. Kind of like it's lonely at the top. Maybe it is like you've succeeded and gotten to the top and you're realizing being only solely responsible for yourself and not having more of that connection as part of your process in your life is just making everything feel unsatisfying, even if you are because, like, with the Six of Wands, I get that you are technically succeeding in some ways, but there's just, this could be inner conflict too for me. The Five of Swords is a card of conflict. It's kind of like the winning at all costs. To me, this is the winning at all costs card. So, like, even if you won, it's like you either did it by dirty means or just no one is really that happy for you. And so then again, to bring it back to the Six of Wands, it's like hard to fully enjoy your success when it feels like your success is not, like, really benefiting something greater than you, right? And I think you're really feeling that right now, like this shift from, okay, before I kind of like had this like armor and like maybe did everything on my own just so that I could feel like, hey, I got it. But also, I think, Two of Wands in reverse, the strategy you're using, kind of being totally independent, is just, again, like, it just feels like it's not like leading to any new growth. There's just like a stagnancy too with where you're at in like either your, and again, I don't know what like department this energy is playing out for you. It could be too that you've been single for so long, right? And like you've loved being single, like genuinely, but you're realizing maybe that like you're not desiring partnership for someone to save you, but just like there are ways you want to grow now. Again, talking about that stagnancy, there's ways you want to grow and challenge yourself and like get out of kind of this like it feels like this Five of Swords is almost like a self-protective energy of like being totally guarded and just like not letting people in or like not letting people know that you need them or their support. And that's kind of just making any success or good things you have like hard to enjoy, because it's just sort of like there's, yeah, again, that's the word I keep getting, stagnancy. Like there's no way for this to flow. It's like no matter how you cut it, no matter what the situation is, it's like it feels like you've reached the end of your growth in this particular circumstance that you're in, whatever it may be, job, being self-employed, or maybe it's working for a company, whatever company you don't like, or not having a relationship, or being in the wrong relationship. It's just sort of like whatever it is for you, Virgo, you've been really self-reliant and sort of doing that out of self-protective measures, but also to make sure that you can kind of like be in control. A little bit of control issues coming up again with that like Five of Swords, but it's no longer satisfying. Even if you are successful, you can't feel that because you need to grow to move. And so that's what the Six of Swords is to me. And we got the Star, right? I'm maybe gonna well, we'll see. Okay, so we got the Six of Swords and the Star. I feel like you're just acknowledging, and it's so important to reach out for help. This could, I mean, not to get too dark, Virgo, but like it could be depression. It could be like just your whole mode of operating has been, again, to just be in control, do it all on your own, have all the answers all the time. But it's just creating, in a way, your self-reliance and your inability maybe to reach out is creating conflict that doesn't need to be there or that can be resolved, making it difficult to enjoy the good things in your life, making it hard for you to see where you can go from here. And so, and the Hanged Woman to me in reverse is like not being able to see that other perspective, right? So I feel like this is an echo of this Two of Wands in reverse, which is like, I think, and yeah, that stagnancy, the reaching the end of the road, it's like the way of doing things up to this point. It's like you've come as far as you can doing what you've been doing. And so I feel like even if you can't see it with this Hanged Woman in reverse, I think that there is a need to kind of look at your life, look at your choices, try to get, even if you, this Hanged Woman upright, it's like, even if you can't see the new perspective, right, even if you can't really get yourself into this upside down position, sometimes with this card I think about like yoga, like doing a handstand, right? I cannot do a handstand, and I don't know if I ever will, but I don't need to actually be able to do the headstand to understand the concept of the headstand, which is like, I know if I could do a headstand, the blood would flow the other way through me, kind of like go through my brain, maybe like kind of reboot it a little bit, or like, and then also I would see things upside down. So that might be a little, so I'm just saying, like, even if I can't like actually physically or mentally or emotionally get myself to see things from a different perspective, I think you can still hold space for the idea that like maybe you can't see the whole picture, or maybe there's more to the story, or maybe there's new ways of doing things. And I'm also kind of put in mind of like maybe doing an assisted sort of, you know, headstand where like maybe you just like lean off your bed and kind of look at your room upside down. Really, this card is just saying to me that like with all of this like kind of depressed, like stuck, like nothing's working anymore, stagnancy energy, even if you can't see the new perspective, it's there. And so we also have the Star, and again, the Six of Swords, which I kind of started with, but like, I feel like there is this opportunity for healing and for moving on to new ways of being. And how do you get there? Well, it feels like it's already here, is the thing. Like, it feels like that shift and the moving on is already present in your life, because we did get the Two of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles upright. So I feel like you have love in your life, you have support, even if it's not a romantic partner. There is love around, right? Love is all around. And you are probably in community. I mean, we're all always in community, right? Like, to the degree that we're able to feel it or see it, again, talking about like this, the perspective, I think even like pre-pandemic, but like think about even just going to Starbucks. If you were like a regular somewhere, then you would run into the same people all the time, like the people who worked there. That's your community, right? So we all do have community to varying degrees. community is available. We live amongst other humans, generally, unless you're off the grid. In which case, even listening to YouTube videos, there's an online community, right? I guess I'm in your community now. So, I'm saying all that to say that either you have this already, and it's simply a matter of connecting with it and moving away from kind of the self-imposed limitations, healing self-imposed isolation. And I know we're probably in quarantine, so that does affect things. But I had a really particularly rough time myself recently, and I reached out to a bunch of people who I don't normally reach out to, and I had a lot of phone conversations, and that still was enough to help me heal. So I think this is about partially reaching out so that you can keep healing and so that you can keep moving towards this more interconnected way of being, which feels like kind of the new approach. We also got this Princess of Wands, and this is a card of beginning. To me, this is beginner's mind energy, and particularly within the fire suite, whatever. So, creativity, passion, what else? Creativity, passion, sparks, initiation, new beginnings, right? So that's good, because you probably are looking for that. A little bit of a reboot. So it's reboot energy. And I think that's a good way of looking at it, right? With the star, too. It's you're just rebooting your operating system. And that's kind of what this was about, is it might feel like you can't. But I think to get this in kind of this vibe, it's even if that feels like a challenge, initially you have the star at your disposal, so there is healing around, and you can kind of reach out for it, or take the steps towards making that happen for yourself. Oh my god, sorry, there's just a lot of distraction beyond. That's why I usually don't do. Okay, Virgo, don't mind me. Yes, so reaching out for healing, moving away from that stagnancy, right? So moving towards that flow, even if it means maybe making some uncomfortable choices outside of your comfort zone. Princess of Wands kind of puts me in mind of you taking initiative outside of your comfort zone too. So that could be, if you were single, it could be telling people to set you up on a date, or joining a stupid dating app, or taking a random chance on whatever, right? I think it's just, this is kind of you're opening up a little bit, maybe slowly, but there's still kind of this move towards, again, connection and interconnectedness in your day-to-day approach to living in life. And knowing that this is sort of going to be providing further healing. So it's with the star, I think it's important to keep in mind that this healing that you're undergoing, getting out of the self-isolated, self-reliant position towards one of honoring your interconnectedness and the need for, partnering with others to succeed. I think this energy that you're moving toward with the Six of Swords and the beginner's mind, the openness towards being creative solutions, or, creative new ways of thinking about your life, or what it is that you're doing, or what is your purpose. All of that is part of an ongoing process. So it's with the star, it's not just I need to heal so that I can get into this beginner's mind perspective and move forward. It's like, as I initiate this moving forward away from my stuck position, oh my god, sorry, that invites in the move towards this, which continues to evoke further healing. So it's like the star is like not just about like I will heal. I'm kind of repeating myself. Oh my god, sorry. I usually do my readings when I'm home alone, and I'm not right now, and so much distraction. But whatever. Okay. Let's just finish this up, Virgo. The star is not just I heal to get myself ready to begin new things. The star is like, the more I heal, the more I heal, right? So it's not just about the beginning or the moving away to get new perspective. It's like this, the new life, the getting back into flow, the getting back into interconnectedness and community continues this process, right? So this is just, what I'm trying to say is this is just an overarching thing that is not just like one and done and then it fixed you and then you're whatever. It's like the star is part of like this ongoing process of you evolving into a happier, lighter Virgo, and that is a long journey. Like even this energy of you getting or arriving at the new interconnected, interdependent, connected strategy is still inviting in more of this shift within you of healing old wounds or kind of letting go or releasing some of the trauma that was keeping you previously in kind of this like, you know, I'll do it all on my own, don't worry about me type of vibe that was just ultimately becoming unsatisfying. So this is beautiful energy for you. All right, that's your reading. I'll leave it at that. And I will see you again in November. Okay, bye.